Hello and welcome to Laytechs Weekly, episode 30th June 2021. Laytechs Weekly is brought to you by Laytechs, your protection from tech ignorance. My name is Sean. This week's news of the week, top releases on Windows 11. Just 2 days after our last episode, Windows released Windows 11 that CEO Satya Nadella promised, quote, sweeping visual rejuvenations. And in my opinion, it did not fail to deliver that. Windows had always had a history of releasing one good version and one bad version after that. The 95 was good. The 97 was not good. The XP was good. Well, 97 was goodish, but not that good. Not as good as 95. So the XP was very good. Vista was fairly bad. The 7 was very good. And the 8 was controversially bad. And then the 10 was good. So judging by the demo, it seems that Windows has finally broken the curse. Here are why Windows 11 is good, in my opinion. Number one, it does provide sweeping visual rejuvenation with new color themes, wallpapers, icons, sounds, and taskbar layout. Taskbar being in the middle is nice. Well, yeah. It even adjusts its taskbar icons slightly further to tablet mode and has a very, very good window snapping tool. So I always say that Windows is the platform you use for multitasking or having two or three windows in one screen versus Mac, because people who design the Mac never believe that multitasking or referencing multiple documents at a single time is possible. So yeah, Windows is getting better at that. They do already have third-party ones, but being able to bring this in natively, it helps make the experience so much better. Windows Store will support third-party app stores without charges. So third-party app store can bring their apps in or their softwares and everything in, and Windows will not charge a single dime. Okay, so this is just apps, not games though. But game stores can still be side-loaded as per usual. So that's no problem. The Epic Store will still be there. The Steam Store will still be there. Windows will not charge extra. The third one, it supports Android apps. Okay, the first thing is when the demo dropped, it showed that the downloads coming from the Amazon's Android store. So a lot of people thought that, okay, you can download or install Android apps, but it has to be from the Amazon store. But no, Windows now confirms that Android apps can be side-loaded, and more other stores can also bring, more other Android stores can also bring their apps into Windows Store as well. It would be a lot more efficient than the emulated versions that we're having now. So Windows users, I know you guys have always had all these emulated versions for a long time, but the problem with emulated versions is it's not efficient, right? To have it run natively on Windows without any form of emulation, that is where it can fully utilize the power of your PC. The fourth one is that it's a free upgrade from Windows 10. Come on, it's brilliant. I just suggested this last week, and I thought that they should make it free, and they did make it free. Of course, not all computers applied. It does make sense because it is a new version and there are minimum requirements, and very old devices will not be able to support it. I do believe that Microsoft should extend the support for Windows 10 for a little longer, or maybe give like a special service pack for extension of Windows 10 for people who do not want to upgrade the devices, probably enterprise, companies with a lot of devices. They don't want to upgrade, and they find that or they can, their devices can't upgrade to Windows 11, but they don't want to upgrade to Windows to change all their devices, because Windows 10 essentially will stop support in 2025 if they come out with a service pack extension, maybe charge a little bit of money, and these people are more willing to pay for that. Then yeah, it's better than getting all a bunch of new devices for their offices and enterprise and warehouses and everything. Yeah, but in any case, for everybody else, it's a free upgrade. So have a look at if your laptop or your computer is less than 5 or 6 years old, chances of you being able to upgrade is very, very high. In terms of power, Microsoft said that Windows 11 will be more efficient and it will be also easier to download in the background. So no more Windows taking over with the big blue screen of that, you know how it is, Windows users. You want to do your work, and all of a sudden it goes into this auto update version, and then it just runs at the back, and not runs at the back, it just takes over your entire screen. You can't do anything. And it is on one side a good excuse to not work for that half an hour, but it's bad because when you're in the flow and you're doing your work and it just takes over, and it gets very annoying. So Microsoft says that Windows 11 will now be downloaded and installed in the background. Not all of it, but maybe some parts of it, kind of like how Android upload works. And that's good. And they also say that Windows 11's updating will be a lot more stable as well. Windows 10 has had a lot of dramatic and unreliable experiences with a lot of people. So it does. And the sixth part is that it does stay true to Windows as the majority of the public can accept. So like I said last week, there are certain limitations on what Windows can do in terms of becoming something new. It has to stick to what it is. There is a lot of legacy expectations that Windows needs to be, and there is only this much that it can do. It can move forward. So being an OS that is used by most of the world, Windows can't transform much overnight. There needs to be very gradual transformations. But based on the limitations that they have, I think they've done the best that they can do. And there are certain things that they're doing a lot better than Mac OS as well. So yeah, brilliant. Apple wants Chinese makers. A lot of Apple's leaks have come from third-party parts makers from China, and the company is tired of this. They have taken legal action against the leakers, claiming that it would provide transfer information to Apple's competitors too early ahead of the release, or mislead consumers about devices that aren't coming. So Apple is saying two things. So on one side, I believe that Apple has done something. They love the leaks, right? Because the leaks bring news to the public and lets people have this anticipation of what's going to come out next and everything. There's a lot of hype, and they don't have to come up with a single cent for it. But I do agree with Apple that there are two reasons why Apple don't want all these leaks to come out, which is number one, if they leak things too early ahead of schedule, then what happens is competitors can pick up on all these and be able to pivot their devices and be able to compete with Apple. To be fair, Apple's devices technologically isn't exactly advanced by any means. They are at least 3 or 4 years behind even some of the cheapest Android makers in the market. But there are things that Apple is good at, and Apple don't want to lose that edge. Second one is to mislead consumers about devices that aren't coming, which in a way kind of gives people a little bit too much anticipation and hype about certain things. For example, maybe the Apple glasses, the wearable ones, right, that did not come out and they say that they would, and all of a sudden nothing happens and people get disappointed. So yeah, these are the two things. So one such leaker named Kang, K-A-N-G, topped the Apple Track leaderboard. There's this website that actually like kind of tracks all the leaders, the lead leakers of Apple stuff. Kang said he never signed an NDA, so thereby not needed to keep things quiet when it comes to Apple information. He published undisclosed pictures. He never published undisclosed pictures, or he also never profited from this information. Okay, the profit part, I don't believe him, but yeah, that's what it says. Apple did not respond to requests for comment on this matter, but I believe that Apple is chasing this down. They won't send all these legal letters for no reason. It's not just a simple scare tactic. It is a threat, and they are most probably gonna take action on these leakers. But we'll see what happens. Group video calls coming to Telegram. It's being rolled out to all mobile and desktop apps, which is sometimes something that was promised back in April 2020. Video calls will be limited to the first 30 people who join a voice chat. So you can actually convert from voice chat into video. So if you have, let's say, 50 people on your voice chat, only the first 30 that went into the voice chat is converted into video chat. Hopefully this will improve over time. Screen share will also be available, which is good. So by allowing these two features in, right, group video calls and screen share, something all of a sudden, Telegram saw itself being upgraded from a WhatsApp level chat platform to a Zoom level video calling with a WhatsApp level chat. So Zoom never had a community of chats, and Google Chat and Google Meet have all these capabilities, but they never created they were not able to create a community. Microsoft Teams is one such thing, but it's for work, and they are pushing into the consumer level now, and they are not doing very well. Well, it's still a bit too early to tell, so we don't know. And yeah, so if Telegram can push this right, they should be able to bring the best of both worlds into their app. There are also other features that came with the group chat videos, which are improved noise suppression and animated backgrounds. Yeah, not bad, Telegram. You're growing up. Very good. Watch partially downloaded videos on Netflix. This is a cool feature that allows us to watch partially downloaded videos on Netflix, but it's only available on Android. It's cool when you are a sort of person who tends to download shows last minute before a flight. You know, we've all done this before. I know we don't remember what a flight is, and we don't remember ourselves waiting for flights, but circa 2 years before COVID, this was it. You sit down and you're waiting for a flight. It could be a long flight, and you say, oh, damn, I forgot to download some of my favorite videos, shows, maybe, 5 episodes of Friends to keep you company for the next 1 or 2 hours flight. Then you start downloading it. And then before the download completes, you go into the flight and you have to go into flight mode. And then you can't watch the entire thing because that 2% hasn't been downloaded. Well, if you're on Android now, this is not a problem anymore. So what's going to happen now is that if you have the undownloaded parts, let's say the last 3 minutes, the last 3% or the last 2%, on Android, you can actually watch the first 98%. And so I'm assuming that how this works is that Netflix is kind of like moving the downloads from the beginning to the end. So usually downloads can work in 2 ways. They either download from the beginning to the end of the file, the first percent to 100% of the file, start to the finish, or they have multiple download points where they push in on different parts of the download section at the same time to kind of make the downloads faster. So in order to make this happen, I think Netflix has set up to the download where it has to download from the beginning all the way to the end. That is the only way you can watch the whole thing or parts of it, which is, it is a good thing. Netflix said that they are working on bringing this feature to iOS users, which will be available in the coming months, just in time before our post-COVID troubles. Samsung MWC, Mobile World Congress rundown. The Mobile World Congress is happening this week. So Samsung has released the new Wear OS, which was the result of a partnership with Google, and it's called One UI Watch. Okay, One is Samsung One. One as in Wear and Tizen becoming one. UI as in UI and Watch as in watch, I guess. Apps will start up to 30% faster and with smoother UI and better health and fitness capabilities. I believe the health and fitness capabilities is coming from Watch OS because Google bought Fitbit. The watches will also be able to accept all of Google's watch apps now, since they no longer run Tizen OS. They showcased a platform that allows for easy watch face development, which is cool. It's just like kind of like a little app, like a mini app or something where they can just add the color, add the design or whatever. You cobble things up together. And I believe this will bring limitless designs, watch face designs to users. There is also better integration between settings on your phone and watch, because now they both run Android and a stripped down version of Android, which is Watch OS. Then what happens is the ability to communicate between two and move the settings back and forth is a lot better as well. Yeah, no release of new devices as of yet. So this MWC, what they did was they just talk about the OS itself. I suspect a new lineup of watches that complement this OS will be announced soon, maybe in the fall, alongside, what was supposed to be the Note 21 that isn't coming out this year. Maybe that will be the season when all the watches will come out. This is actually a very good collaboration between the two companies to compete with Apple Watch. So in terms of watch, right? Yes, there are a lot more Android watches out there than Apple Watches. But there isn't a single company that is outselling the Apple Watch, because the Apple Watch is the only one that has the Apple's Watch OS. And there are so many Android ones, and there are expensive ones, there are cheap ones. Fossil makes them, Tag Heuer makes them. I don't know if Omega makes them, but yeah, Samsung makes them and everything. So Samsung is the best in terms of the top, in terms of the watches coming from a technology company. And working with Google, working with Samsung is a good collaboration. It is a good way to push towards competing with the sales volume as the Apple Watch. That's all for Laytechs Weekly this week. Laytechs Weekly is available on Anchor FM, Overcast, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Pocket Casts, Radio Public, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and I post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. If you like Laytechs Weekly, it would really help if you could rate and review it on the podcast feeder of your choice so more can discover it. Laytechs Weekly is looking for a regular co-host to bring more depth to the show. If you are interested, simply drop me an email at SeanBQT, that is Sean, Bangkok, Queensland, Thailand, @hotmail.com. Oh no, this one. All right. If all else, I will see you soon next week, and stay safe. Au revoir.